If you open the project, if you start a new project and hidden a film and video, if you choose presets of a value of 1080 correct aspect ratio and start a black background, you can use this tool to add a new text. You can just double click and add and modify your own. You can just add your own text by pressing this tool and just double click adding new text. Hit press OK and make your own adjustment for the font, just scrolling down from this tool right here and scrolling down to choose different font. Then I will choose this font and select this one and scrolling down to choose different fonts and scrolling down and move it to the left, then move it to the right and alignment together. You can select and drag it together and choose alignment tool to align it in a depth and horizontal and a vertical dimension. Let's say I will alignment right here and let's say I will make it some color. Let's take it this color and texture for this color. I will head to the panel text and then choosing the color, then choosing the texture of the color. This outline allows the changing the color of the bezels, the borders of the text itself. Let's say I will give it some transformation. Let's give it transformation. Let's give it some mirroring effect and reflection. Let's give it animation of the texture of the text. You can see now it's moved. The borders of the text, it's moving around. It's adjusted at the second number 0. Let's say I will make some movement of this one and select them all and add in a new keyframe. New keyframe will be set at the second number 0 and you add a new keyframe at the second number 3. So the letter will move at the second number 3 at the new value. You must add two value. First value will be added at the first keyframe at the second number 0 and the new value will be added at the second number 3. You can then alignment, make your own alignment to make precise alignment at the horizontal dimension. Then you make your own color, change the color of them all, then change the text color, hitting adding a new keyframe to save this keyframe. Then if you stop it to start from the second number 0 and hitting play button, you can see the movement added to the letter number D. If you want to add a movement to letter number A, just select letter number A, adding a keyframe at the second 0 and adding a new keyframe at the second number 3. Let's say I will make some movement, some adjustment of the depth, increase the depth, move it to the left side or the right side. I will save the position at the upper right corner and this on the left upper corner. Let's hit plus button on the letter D and hit plus button on the letter number A to save this position at this point at this second. And hitting play button, it will not move because it have only one movement, one keyframe. You need to add a new keyframe at the second number 3. Let's say I will adjust it to be seated right here, align it in this place. Let's say I will move it to the depths, move it, grab it and drag it. Let's say we will align them together. Choose the alignment tool, alignment horizontal. Then I will save this keyframe by hitting the green plus button. I will save this keyframe at this point. Let's save this color and this keyframe. Hitting play button, it will move from the second number 0 to the second number 3. Then you add some movement like rotation. Hitting play, it will rotate according to the rotation you have just added. I will select letter A and add a new animation. Let's hit play button. You can see it animated according to the animation presets I have added. It will move the position and also move according to the animation I have just added. So this tool allow you to add different text. Just press it, double click it to add modify it and type in the text you want to add. Let's say I will type in Digital Academy and let's press OK. Then it's added. Let's hit play button, it will not move. I will start at the second number 0 and make some adjustment at position. It will start at this point and this position. Let's say I will give it some rotation, some movement, some depth. It will move, rotate and scale and save it at that position as the second number 0 in the timeline. Let's say I will change the font. I will choose this panel and scrolling down to change the font to the font I want to set. Let's say I like this font, I will choose it, then you drag it and well, let's say I give it some color. Given on the text panel, you can choose the color you want, and the text outline allow you to change the bevel outline. Then heading into this texture, it's a preset of the texture. You can also make some transformation of the texture like this one. Let's say I will give it vertical scroll half or horizontal scroll half, head close, and give it some animation. You can animate the effect of the texture inside of the text. Just hit close and give it some mirror, some reflection. It's just some modification of the texture you've added to the color. You now have a color and effect. Give it some animation. Let's say I give this animation and animate by letter. Then each letter will allow to move separately. Remember to add new keyframe to save the color and positions. I will choose different color like this one here to allow to see some of the movement. Let's say I want to adjust the thickness of the text itself. This tool allows the thickness. Let's say I will choose this texture, this one right here. Let's increase and decrease some thickness. This tool allows to adjust thickness, and let's say I will give some bevel. Bevel adjusts the border of the text. You can see two panels, panels of the shape and panels of the text to adjust the bevel. Just hit press button on the green and you can see it's moved. Moving the letter according to the preset animation I have just added. Then I can add a new text from this tool, double click and type in the text you want to add. Let's say I will type my name and press OK, and then make some adjustment on the fonts. I will change this font. I will decrease the size. Let's say I will decrease its size a little bit. I move it to this size. Then decrease the font, decrease the depth, the thickness of the font itself. I will choose different one if I want. I will choose this font right here. Let's say I will choose this one and change it. You can change the font accordingly by scrolling down or download it from Google. Download any font you want, then make your own adjustment. Let's say I will hit play button. So I can start at the second number 0, make some adjustment at position. It will start at this point if I added a keyframe at the second number 0. Then I look for the timeline, make sure at the second number 0, make some adjustment of the thickness of the font, of the color, and the position of each point I want to save. And after saving the font, the position of the color, and the direction of the movement, just hit the green plus button after saving the shape you want. It will save a keyframe at the second you stop it at. Just scrolling down to save the shape and the font you want, make some adjustment of the bevel. The bevel is the borders. If you head in at the right side, this is the bevel shape. The bevel shape had different presets. Then you change the color of the text itself or the color of the text outline to change the bevel. Let's say I will choose this preset of the texture, give it some transformation, give it reflection, mirror, let scrolling down and horizontal scroll half like this one, and let's say I give a animation texture. I want the texture to be animated. It's like a wave movement. Hit plus button to save this keyframe, heading to the animation menu and choose animation preset and hit play button to see the animation you have just added. I've added a rotation movement to this presets. You can see the movement of the color according to the timeline, according to the notes you have added to the timeline. You can head into the shape menu to make some adjustment, or the bevel menu to adjust the bevel. You can add some reflection by this menu. You can adjust the distance of the reflection you've added. You can adjust the fade. It represents the opacity, how much of the reflection appeared and disappeared. You can select this one right here, and you also can add some alignment or add a reflection. Let's say I want this reflection and add a distance and add a fade of opacity. Let's decrease the distance a little. It's away, and increase it to make it close to the shape or the text I've added. Let's say I am fine with this distance. Let's say I will select both of them, add some reflection. It allows reflection for separate shape. You must select separately. Then add some reflection for this one first. Then select the different one and add its reflection. Let's say I will add this reflection. I will make this opacity and this reflection. Let's say that's all for the reflection and adding and modification for the shape. Let's select this one here and make some adjustment of the position, and this one, and drag it down here. You can select it and move it from different part by these three arrows. You can allow to apply some reflection, adding some effect of fade to present opacity, adjust the distance of the reflection, make it close to the object or away from the object. You can adjust the font, the color, and at the end you must hit the plus green button to save it at this point, and adding a keyframe, hitting play button, so you can now see it's moving. Now you can save it, and that's all.